I'm gonna take my first bite of my taco. So
Yeah, go ahead.
cheers to you. Cheers to you.
Yes. Sorry, I was chewing.
Just finishing my bite too.
Yeah.
Got some sparkling water too.
Fancy.
Hi everyone. My name is Kevin, and I'm the Youth Engagement Specialist for Students Against Destructive Decisions.
Hi everyone, my name is Krystle. I am Recording Artists Against Drunk Driving Senior Representative for Southern California.
We have a really cool mukbang interview. I got some tacos from this place called Los Albertos down the street. I got four types of
Yes.
tacos: fish taco, shrimp taco, abodaba, and or adobada. Wow, and carnitas. So I'm pretty excited to dive into this.
I have my favorite campanchana fries from Tacos El Gordo. I love their
Ooh,
fries. Yes.
tacos el gordo
So
is good.
it's been a while, but I'm very excited to dig in.
What was it called? Campanchano?
Campanchana, which I
Campanchano.
believe is a mix of carne asada and adobada. Feel free to correct me out there
Oh
for viewers
wow.
that are watching.
That's good. I've only known the carne asada fries. I haven't had those before. That sounds great.
Yes, if you ever find yourself here, you gotta try it.
Yeah, so we're just gonna eat a little food, talk a little bit about RAD and SAD. SAD stands for Students Against Destructive Decisions. We are the nation's premier youth health and safety organization, and really SAD tries to help students have the tools and the resources to confront the everyday risks that they face when it comes to drinking and driving, distracted driving, substance abuse, mental health, and more. And so there are thousands of SAD students all around California and the nation.
RAD was founded in 1986 by radio DJs, and at the time
Mhm.
they were founded as Rockers Against Drunk Driving. And so they would focus on radio campaigns where they would play an artist's song, and then at the end of the song, they would have an artist just say a simple tagline such as "Don't drink and drive" or "Plan before you party." And
Mhm.
so nowadays we go by recording artists against drunk driving, and we really advocate the use of designated drivers, ride shares, safe driving through responsible behavior. We travel all throughout California delivering DUI prevention programming and education. Last year, we covered about 55 college campuses and 3 military bases, so we have quite a reach all throughout California. And so, something we do want people to know is that RAD's message isn't to steer young adults away from drinking. We understand that young adults in college, they do go out for drinks and parties. We totally get that. What we want is just for students to practice responsible drinking in order to prevent DUIs and getting behind the wheel under the influence. We really encourage planning before you party.
I think that's really great, planning before you party. It sounds like you all have an audience focused more towards like college level students. SAD works with all types of students, but we primarily have an audience of high school students. We do have a small growing presence in college.
For
Hmm.
RAD, we tailor our messages and programming for young adults in college of drinking age, which is really important. So when we talk about responsible drinking behavior, we're strictly talking to those that are of legal drinking age, which for us is 21. Sometimes we'll tailor our messages and programming to consider audiences that go out to clubs, to bars, parties, festivals, or even drink on campus.
I love how we are combating the same issue, but from two different sides. Because for us, a lot of our audience is under 21, so technically it is illegal for them to drink. At the end of the day, the health and safety is important. So we always like to say to folks, hey, if you're going to go out, have a plan, make sure that you can get home safely. So I understand that you recently graduated from college. I'm around 3 years out, and I'm kind of curious, how did you get involved with RAD personally?
Well, at my undergrad experience at SDSU, I was a part of the Health Promotion Department's Peer Health Educator program.
Hmm.
And so this program was divided into two components, an outreach component and then a classroom component. And so one day in class, we had a guest speaker come in and they were representing RAD. And we had Marian Novak, which is my supervisor and the RAD California Coalition director. She came in and she taught us about RAD. She gave us some education on alcohol consumption, DUI prevention methods. That's where I actually first learned about RAD. Just started off as that.
Hmm.
And so, fast forward a couple of years, I had graduated and I still kept in touch with the PhD department towards the end of last year, around late November or early December. they had shared a job posting with RAD. And I was like, oh, I know what RAD is. I'm able to do what they're asking for, which was like tabling, outreach, which was great because that's what I liked from my PhD experience, actually. I applied for it. And a couple weeks later, I actually heard back from Erin Maluso, who's our president, and she welcomed me with a job offer. I officially started working with RAD January this year.
I started with SAD in December, so just a month earlier. But for me, the work with SAD really started a lot earlier. So in high school, actually, I was involved with the SAD chapter at Chaparral. By my third and fourth year, I became chapter president. With one of
Wow.
my closest friends. And what I loved about SAD was just the peer-to-peer messaging was really important. I consider myself a pretty sociable guy when I want to be. It was really great to advocate for issues that we as students felt were important to us. For example, nowadays self-care is such a huge thing that people like to talk about, and self-love. But back when I was in high school, around, oh my gosh, in 2013 when we graduated, we didn't really have any words to talk about self-care, but it was an issue that a lot of us had been facing, self-love and self-care. So we started campaigns towards mental health and taking care of yourself. It's really cool to see how far it's come. And it made me realize just how important the conversations are to give students healthy, realistic, as well as just like really good frames when it comes to how to stay safe and why, and just what the facts are with these sort of things. And especially when it comes to driving, unintentional injury is one of the number one killers of teens and young adults. Oftentimes it happens in a car. My experiences in high school and in personal experiences after college, I realized how important youth and teen safety is, and just being able to share uh, the message for that SAD has all across California is really what inspires me to continue to do the work that I do.
That's so great. And I really like that you're able to start young in high school so you kind of grow with the mindset, really adapt and take it all in, and then you get to transfer it not only through college but also where you're at right now. So I think that's a really great story.
Yeah, thank you. So, Krystle, why don't you tell me what do you enjoy most about working with RAD?
So what I enjoy most working with RAD is actually what I miss the most, which is being able to visit different college campuses and tabling at all the unique events to offer. It's really fun to see what different campuses put out for their students. For example, they'll have like health fairs, mental health fairs, just regular tabling events, pretty casual. It's really fun being able to travel to these different colleges, experiencing a little slice of the college campus's culture. But above all, what I love most is just being able to engage with the students and have face to face interactions, being able to promote RAD's message and doing some like DUI education and prevention. That's what I miss most and what I love most about RAD.
Just finishing my bike too.
Yeah.
I would agree with you. For me, that's exactly what I love about working with SAD too, is being able to travel to the different high schools all across California. They're
Right.
so different. There's
Hmm.
so many different community conditions that they face. And while there's some issues that are universal for all high schoolers, the way that it manifests in their specific community is so different. And so having to speak to different students and really trying to tailor the message to how it speaks to them is what's really enjoyable. What are some of the colleges and campus events that you've worked with in the past?
So personally, within this year, I was able to go to a couple of UCSD events,
Hmm.
such as their Trident Fest Under the Influencer with Josh Peck event. I really
Oh,
like that
cool.
one because I actually grew up watching Drake and Josh. So
Same.
it's like, oh, so cool. It's Josh Peck. And it was really nice being able to see him in person. It's
Hmm.
kind of like seeing him on TV, actually. So, like, the
Yeah.
personality really translates well. And it was really personable. It was really fun. I also did their Recess at Remac event and their Bear Garden event, which was really cool. Lots of students come out to those events, so there's a lot of outreach opportunity, a lot of exposure on RAD's messaging, DOI prevention, stuff like that. So that's really cool. I also got to attend CSU San Marcos's mental health fair and Maricosta
Hmm.
College's campus hour. And at their campus hour, they actually had the school's music department play some live music. And I believe they played jazz, which was really nice because I like jazz music. So I was like,
Yeah.
this is great. It's lively. Um, One event Marion got to do was Cal State San Bernardino, they had this event called Snow Day, because they would get the snow from Big Bear and bring it onto campus. So
Oh,
students
wow.
would get to go sledding, snowboarding, and they'll get free food like Chick-fil-A or In-N-Out. And so the catch is, before they can get all the nice free food, they would have to fill out their stamp cards, which is pretty typical of a
Hmm.
college campus event.
Yeah.
And so that means they would have to get a stamp from RAD. And so they'll come to the table, participate in trivia questions, learn about the history of mission, and then get a prize and their stamp.
What kind of prizes do you use to incentivize students to come to your booth? Because we have some booths too. So how do you
Right.
get folks to come to your table?
So we'll have a trivia wheel. So it's like this nice, colorful wheel that students get to spin, and usually they're attracted to that because they'll see people spinning and they're like, "Ooh, I wonder what that is." And so they'll spin the wheel, and prizes they can get would be like sunglasses, hats, pencils,
Mhm.
things like that. But the students, I've noticed, they really like the hats. So the hats are a big ticket item, you could say.
I guess that really speaks to our audience sometimes when we're at high schools or at middle schools, especially when we're out at middle schools. The students love getting the candy as some of our prizes. Yeah, so it's something
Yeah.
that we'll provide. But I would love to get some sad hats, get some of that branded merch, get some of that for our
Yes.
students. I think that's really awesome. So when we're at schools, some of the programs we do are Rock the Belt, which is really encouraging seatbelt safety, because seatbelts is one of the best ways to prevent a crash, or prevent a fatal crashes. And the other one that we like to do is called Text Less, Live More, which focuses on digital wellness and distracted driving. So instead of being on your phone all the time, learning how to live out in life, be present with yourself. One other thing that we have that really is a hit with students is we have some fatal vision goggles that we will
Oh,
have in on our booth, where students will put it on and it kind of simulates the disorientation one would experience if they were drunk. Having folks try a sobriety test, like having them walk a line, or just showing them how disoriented and how dangerous it could be to just do simple tasks while
right.
inebriated is a lot of students have fun with it. At the same time, it's a really good way to convey the seriousness of drunk driving and how dangerous that can be.
I like that, and it's also very interactive, which I think is fun for students too. An interactive way to learn.
Kind of like you, instead of a prize wheel, we have like a Plinko thing where
I
people
love
put a
that.
little, yeah, from Price is Right, right?
Yes.
Where they'll put the little Plinko chip, and then there'll be a question at the bottom relating to distracted driving, drunk driving, substance abuse, and whatnot. Is there anything cool that Rad's working on lately?
Well, right now we're switching over from our tabling events on campus because of
Right.
COVID. Campus is closed. So normally on campus, what we would do is have a table and we would have the prize wheel. And so students would come up, spin the wheel, and then while they're spinning the wheel, I'll tell them a little bit about RAD. I'll say stuff like, "Oh, RAD stands for Recording Artists Against Drunk Driving. We travel to 40 plus colleges all throughout California and we're funded by the Office of Traffic Safety." And by then they'll have finished spinning the wheel and I'll read them their question. And so on the question wheel, we'll have a lot of all the questions are focused on DOI education or prevention. And so what's great about this is that even if the students don't know the right answer, you'll be able to learn something and walk away with the prize. Either way, we're able to get messages out there on DOI prevention. Campuses have closed. What we're doing is trying to translate what we would do on campuses online. One thing we're working on are creating online quizzes to represent our trivia wheel, as well as online educational materials. And these are to be used for our campus partners. And so we'll focus on things such as alcohol absorption, DOI, scenarios, and how to handle those, as well as planning ahead, which is a really big message for us. Yeah, we're really making a big push to take our presence online and making our programs available that way, since we can't deliver those programming in person as of now.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. And this closure of all the schools has really transformed the way that SAD has to work too.
Right.
And to take all of our messaging for Rock the Bell, Text Us Live More, Is It Worth the Risk, which tackles the influence of drugs towards students and how risky it can be to use them and drive. And we
Hmm.
have to put them all online and take it to where the students are. So currently, we are having a campaign called Super Safe Summer, fighting the 100 deadly days. If you didn't know, between Memorial and Labor Day are the 100 most deadly days for teens and young adults. Because it's summer, most teens and young adults are out on the road now. We have this whole social media campaign on our Instagram. Each week is like a different theme on traffic safety. And if you interact with us, we'll enter you in a free giveaway. For each Monday, we give away like a hydro flask, an Amazon Echo, or even like a AirPods. So we have a lot of
Very
different
cool.
prizes. I know I would like the AirPods, to be
Yeah.
honest. I got the knockoff AirPods right now.
Hey, they're
Yeah.
sufficient.
It's a really cool opportunity for high schoolers or even college students to participate.
One thing I actually wanted to tag in with your 100 Days of Summer, something RAD promotes part of education is that 4th of July is actually the deadliest holiday on the roads. And 4th of July is coming up. So,
Hmm.
something we want to let viewers know is that if you are going to celebrate 4th of July and if alcohol is involved, really just plan ahead. Know how you're going to get home safely. Don't get behind the wheel after drinking and just be safe out there.
Oh, same with our high school students that will be participating. You might be around older folks who are drinking, and if you are driving, just know that it is zero tolerance to the state of California to be under the influence in driving. And a DUI is something that you do not want to have at the very least, and at the very most, hurt yourself or others is kind of like
Right.
one of the biggest regrets someone could have. I'm glad that our organizations get to kind of combat the same issue, but from different sides and kind of
Hmm.
provide different messaging, but still have that core root of like safety for young adults and students. So, I mean, it was really great talking to you, Krystle, especially over some delicious food. I
Yes.
have barely finished. I ate like half a taco. I have a
I
lot more to go.
I made like a little dent.
For our students that are graduating high school this year, getting into college, how can they get involved with RAD, or is there any way that they can try to bring you to their college campus once they get into school?
Yeah, so right now, I think what would be best is if students were to follow along our social media. So we're active on both Instagram and Twitter. Our Instagram handle is radnight, that's with two D's, and our Twitter handle is rad_night. And another way to get involved is to simply stop by our booth when we do
Hmm.
go to campus events. We were typically at health fairs. When the time comes, there is a chance we'll be on your campus because we do travel all throughout California. So there's a chance we'll be at your school. Now, if there's any schools out there that are tuning in and they would like to have RAD at your event or work with your campus on DUI prevention programming, feel free to send us an email at info@rad.org. And that is RAD with two D's.
1 second.
Yeah, of course.
That is a good shrimp taco, I gotta say. I think the students will be really excited to see you on campus, hopefully
Mhm.
once things open up. Definitely follow RAD because they're going to be releasing a bunch of educational material on their social media for you to follow and for you to share with your friends. If you
Yes.
want to continue that messaging of positive peer-to-peer interactions and see how you can carry the heart of what SAD does into your college space if you don't have a SAD club at your college. Best way to keep up with SAD and to participate with our Super Safe Summer campaign is by just on our Instagram as well. It's going to be California SAD with two D's. If there's any college students that want to get SAD on your campus too, or are interested in starting your own chapter at your school, please let us know.
All right. Thanks for having me, Kevin.
Of course, yeah, it was a pleasure. I'm excited for when we get to collaborate again. Hopefully, we'll get to meet in person sometime. Maybe we'll
Yes.
see you on a campus.
Yeah, of course. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.